Aloha kakahiaka, good morning. I'm Ron Wiley, I can't help it. I want to welcome and thank everyone for coming to the Kaua'i Veteran Celebration. We have over 5,500 veterans living and working on Kaua'i, and today, this celebration, and then again on Monday, November 11th, we will honor them all past and present as we celebrate Veterans Day. A round of applause for all 5,500 that live right here on Kaua'i. Live and work still. Too often we take for granted or even forget the very people that deserve our gratitude. And that is you, our veterans. To all of you who have sacrificed so much and put your life on hold or your life on the line to defend our freedoms, we say mahalo nui loa. You represent the values of duty, commitment, courage, and service. Today's celebration is another special time in that we are honoring our Korean War and Vietnam War veterans especially. Could we please have all the Korean War and Vietnam War veterans be recognized? If you can stand, please stand. If you cannot, wave your arms, please. Stand if you can. Otherwise, wave an arm. All right. And big smile. Let's give it up, huh? All of these Korean War and Vietnam veterans right here. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Another round of applause so they can really take it in. Come on, a huge round of applause, please. Yes. And afterwards, you get over there, you give them one kiss and one hug, one honey, please. Give those guys what they deserve. Thank you so much. Today's celebration, again, especially honoring Korean and Vietnam War veterans. For those who may not know, the Korean War was known as the Forgotten War. It was sandwiched between World War II and Vietnam, and it was known as an armed conflict. Congress never declared it a war. The United States suffered over 33,000 battlefield deaths in that not war. 33,000. United States alone. As of last year, there are still 7,400 men still missing in action, MIAs, including 5 young men from Kaua'i. Today, you're going to meet the sister of one of those men who has made it her mission, her life mission, to never allow missing in action to be forgotten. This celebration will also honor our Vietnam veterans, the most unpopular war this country has ever involved with. The United States lost more than 58,000 in combat. Over 17,000 people from Hawaii served in Vietnam. Again, over 1,700 people, 1,700 people from Hawaii served in Vietnam. 276 of them were killed in action. You can find their names etched on the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. Over 1,700 people from Hawaii served in Vietnam, and 276 were killed in action. The war divided our nation. When our veterans returned home, many were not treated well by Americans. It wasn't until 2017, when the president signed the Vietnam Veterans Recognition Act, that our veterans were officially recognized and celebrated. That was 2017. More than 50 years later, many of our Vietnam veterans still battle the physical and emotional scars of the war. It took the VA decades to acknowledge that exposure to Agent Orange and other toxins have resulted in the deaths of our veterans. As many veterans are still fighting this war today because they suffer from post-traumatic stress, and they have yet to seek and receive treatment. So they're still suffering. We encourage all our veterans to please seek the benefits you have earned and any help you need. We have wonderful people working at our VA clinic and event center waiting to help. There will be a counselor here November 12th, I believe. I'll be announcing that on the radio again to remind you, and that's a free consultation. And now, I would like our veterans, plus our active duty retirees, guardsmen, and reservists, if you can, please stand. Active duty, retirees, guardsmen, reservists, please stand. if you can, or raise your hand to be recognized. All of you, please stand or raise your hand. You just may raise your hand, that's fine. Thank you. We also especially want to thank your family, your ohana, because behind our veterans are strong ohana, strong families who sacrificed much. They may not have worn the uniform, but they still served, and they're still serving, so please, a round of applause for the families, the ohana. And now we are going to officially post the colors, so I will ask you one more time to stand, remain standing if you can. Remove your hats if you're not in uniform. Please stand for the posting of the colors by the Kapaʻa High School Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps and the singing of the national anthem at Hoʻoponopono by Councilmember Bernard Carvalho. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Our colors are being presented by Kapaʻa High School Army Junior ROTC. Commanding the color guard and carrying the national flag is Cadet Sergeant Major Cheryl Adelia. Carrying the state flag is Cadet Staff Sergeant Amelia Warner. The lead rifle bearer is Cadet Sergeant Nairi Lynn Laguatan. The trail rifle bearer is Cadet First Lieutenant April Balaracio. Please give them a round of applause. Again, we will sing the Spangled Banner as well as the Hō'ike. If you're not in uniform, please remove your hat. Over your heart is the tradition. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Hawaii pono'i, nanai komoi, kalani ali'i, me kali. Makualani e kameha, meha e na Kaua'i pale. Me kahi e makualani e kameha meha e na Kaua'i pale. Me kahi e.
Mahalo, Bernard Carvalho. Round of applause, please. And for our color guard. Now I'd like to bring up Vietnam veteran, commander of Kaua'i's Disabled American Veterans Chapter, Edward Kawamura to offer us an invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, on this day that we honor our veterans, especially our Korean veterans and Vietnam veterans, I want to thank them for their service. We pray that you will bless them and their families as we go through the tough times of America. And understanding America is great because of veterans. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Mahalo, thank you. Edward Kawamura, Vietnam veteran, commander of the Kaua'i Disabled American Veterans. Thank you. Joining us today, we have many distinguished guests. I would like to introduce them now. This is just an introduction. They're not speaking here. Representing the mayor of Kaua'i is our county's managing director, Reiko Matsuyama. The commander of the Kaua'i Veterans Council, Mary K. Hertog. Now, again, recognition. We'd like to recognize our Coast Guard Station Commander, Chief Mike McHugh. Mike, Chief back there in the back. That's our Coast Guard Station Commander. Thank you, Chief Mike McHugh. Representing Governor Josh Green is his Kauai representative, longtime friend, Dana Hazelton. Also in attendance is Annette Miller, one of the rare women war correspondents in Vietnam. Annette spent 14 months in Vietnam reporting for the New York Times. She was recently back from a coast-to-coast book tour of her newest memoir, Girls Don't, A Woman's War in Vietnam. Again, for your purchasability, Girls Don't, A Woman's War in Vietnam. Our new Miss Kauai veteran and a senior at Waimea High School is Kay Alvarez. There she is, right up front. One of our special speakers will be Army Infantry veteran Dave Hall, who served in Vietnam. On stage with us, U.S. Navy Captain retired Lynn Allward Bingham, a nurse who took care of our combat wounded. Also present is Scoutmaster Bobby Thompson, who will say a few words about a special Eagle Scout project honoring several Vietnam veterans. We'll talk later. We have a very special guest I want to introduce to all of you, and that is Mrs. Akiyo Matsuyama. Mrs. Akiyo Matsuyama is here with her daughter, Marcia Nishimura. In late September, many of you have seen the story about Aki, as she is known, on television, highlighting the fact that she turned 100 years old recently. I think that's a century, pretty sure. While that is quite an accomplishment in itself, we are recognizing her today for all that she does and has done to keep the memory of our missing in action soldiers from the Korean War alive. You see, Akiyo's younger brother, Private First Class Takeshi Sasaki, is one of the 5 soldiers from Kaua'i listed as still missing in action, or MIA. Takeshi was inducted into the Army in October of 1950, shipped to Korea. 6 months later, in April of 1951, he was only 25. He was listed as missing in action when Chinese forces broke through American positions near Seoul, South Korea. 4'7" tall, and now 100 years of age, 100 trips around the sun. The girl's been doing some traveling. Wow. She still has a resounding voice for Kaua'i community. Her legacy and mission in life can be summed up in 2 words: never forget. That is, to never forget those who fought and died and are still missing in Korea, the forgotten war. She has tirelessly searched for many any news that could help her find out what happened to her brother. Every year, she has traveled to Arlington, Virginia to attend the Korean Cold War annual government briefings in partnership with the Defense POW MIA accounting agency and the Department of Defense. She has met with Korean War veterans and written countless letters and articles over the years to other Korean War veterans looking for first-hand information about what happened to her brother Takeshi. She has spent years communicating with the Defense POW MIA accounting agency and the Department of Defense to install memorial plaques to honor those who served. During one of her final trips to Virginia, she met a contact that gave her a list of 45 American soldiers who fought in the same final battle with her brother. 45 comrades, American soldiers. She sent handwritten letters and black and white photos of her brother to all 45 men on the list. After decades of searching, Aki and her family finally learned that her brother had been seriously wounded in that battle, and he was removed from the battlefield on a stretcher. However, that was the last account anyone had of Takeshi. To this day, his fate remains unknown. Takeshi's story may never be discovered. Eventually, over the years, Aki has found comfort and purpose in honoring her brother in many ways. She has continuously made it a priority to offer her services to those who served. Every Memorial Day, Aki volunteers to honor the veterans laid to rest at our cemetery in Hanapepe by placing flowers and lei at every gravesite. She has been honored by the American Legion, and she and her brother were honored at a ceremony at Punchbowl Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. A few years ago, at the age of a young 93, she came out to our Veterans Museum and helped gut it in preparation for the renovation. She even worked with the Veterans Administration to get a plaque with Takeshi's name on it made and placed at the gravesite of their parents. Aki still regularly visits the new flagpole area of our Kaua'i Veterans Cemetery to lay flowers and make sure the plaque with the names of our 5 MIA soldiers are kept clean. Aki has never sought attention for all that she has done, but she appreciates the recognition as it gives her a chance to get her message out again to all. And that message from her is simply, they are lost, but they should never be forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Aki Matsuyama. Aki today is with her daughter Marcia Nishimura from Oahu, her granddaughter Jenny, and many other family members from Kaua'i who are here to celebrate a remarkable woman. There she is. Keep it up. Come on, keep it up. And she's doing her squats right now. Up and down, up and down. 100. Aki, imua. Imua. Forward, imua. At this time, I'd like to invite Reiko Matsuyama, our Kaua'i County Management Director, to come forward and say a few words. Reiko.
My office is gonna get lickings because I didn't know I had to be here today. I am here for Grandma Aki because I married her grandson, and so I am part of the Matsuyama Ohana. I am lucky enough to call her family. Hopefully we all can live and prosper just as long as she has, in a way that is still fulfilling. So we're also honored to be with Grandma Aki today. I'm here on behalf of the mayor, I guess. He is traveling, and so he's not here today. But I'm sure he would be here if he was on island. He's off in New Orleans at a planning conference, and so he'll be back later on this weekend. But I think the message that he would want to tell you is that we're just all so very proud and humbled to be a part of your community, right? The veterans are just a symbol of our community that embodies our entire spirit of Kaua'i. And I'm so glad that Ron mentioned the families as well, because that is also so very important. You know, my father was a Vietnam vet, and he still suffers from PTSD, although he doesn't acknowledge it. But you know, my mom has gone along for that journey as well. So I'm just so glad that you recognize the families as well. But thank you guys all for being here today. Thank you for the vendors to make this, you know, an incredible event. And I think it just goes to show how much we appreciate those who have fought and served for our country. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That was as good as any proclamation. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you. That's the Kauai County Management Director, Reiko Matsuyama. Thank you, Reiko. And again, as we are talking about this amazing Aki, this amazing, beautiful woman, thank you so much, and all of your family, your ohana. We have a message from Governor Green. Kauai Representative Dana Hazelton will give you that.
Thank you, Ron. Great morning. Aloha. My name is Dana Hazelton. I am the governor's liaison for Kauai, and I have a special message from our governor, Josh Green, in recognition of the Kauai veterans in Korean War and Vietnam War. Each year, on the first Saturday of November, we gather at the Kauai Annual Veterans Celebration to honor with fanfare all veterans who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. While we recognize today the estimated 5,500 Kauai veterans, I want to especially acknowledge those who fought in the Korean War in the 1950s and the Vietnam War in the 1960s. Although these conflicts happened generations ago, their impacts endure as we witness the heroic veterans aging and their numbers dwindling. Many have faced physical disabilities as well as health conditions related to exposure from the chemical weapon Agent Orange, while others bear unseen scars like post-traumatic stress disorder, triggered by the unimaginable horrors of war. I humbly ask that we unite and pledge never to forget their personal sacrifices. On behalf of the people of Hawaii, I extend my profound and immense gratitude to not only those of the Korean and Vietnam War, but also to all veterans, past and present, for their selflessness, unwavering commitment, and valor. Our veterans answered the call of duty to serve our nation, taking an oath to support and defend the U.S. Constitution so that we may continue to live in the land of the free. They are highly regarded as our patriotic heroes who inspire us each day. I also extend a huge mahalo to the Kauai Veterans Council, the U.S. Veterans Affairs Pacific Islands, and the many veteran organizations for their tireless efforts in providing outreach, assistance, and support to all veterans who were willing to lay down their lives for their fellow Americans. Josh Green. Mahalo.
Mahalo again. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dana Hazelton with the message from Governor Green. And this next fellow, veterans, especially down at the Veterans Center, have seen this guy around, Bart Thomas. You know him? Bart, you have a special introduction. Come on up. Thank you.
Aloha, everyone. And thank you so much. I know it's a little warm out here. I really appreciate you guys' time. I want to do is, first of all, I want to, the person that's going to come and do a presentation, nobody needs to really present this guy. He's just who he is. Honoring Mel Raposo, County Chair. He's got a proclamation that he would love to go ahead and read for us. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, veterans.
thank you, veterans and all the families. You guys are very special people, and we owe a lot to each and every one of you. I'm here today to present a certificate to a special veteran, and she's just finding out about it right now. Mary Kay Hertog, Kaua'i Veterans Council. I'm going to read this. The Kauai County Council honors Mary Kay Hertog for her years of dedicated service to the Kauai Veterans Council. She retired from the United States Air Force in 2012 as a Major General. So for you veterans, you know, that's 2 stars. That's like, if you, I remember when I was in boot camp, if I ever saw a 2-star general at boot camp, I would have had a heart attack. I think you guys can appreciate. She served in uniform for almost 34 years. In the 12 years that she's been on Kauai, she has volunteered in many areas trying to make a difference where she can. One of the first organizations she joined was the Kauai Multiple Sclerosis Support Group, and always raised more money for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society than any other island. She was also a volunteer tutor for 5 years with Hawaii Literacy, teaching women to read, write, and speak English as their second language. Ms. Hertog has also been heavily involved in many veterans organizations over the years to keep veterans' needs and issues at the forefront, as well as to inform veterans of the benefits they are entitled to. Ms. Hertog is also serving her second 4-year term representing Kaua'i on the Governor's Advisory Board on Veteran Services. And for the past 6 years, she served as a commander of the Kauai Veterans Council and previously served as the adjutant and commander of Kauai Disabled American Veterans Chapter 5. Under her leadership, over $300,000 was raised to renovate and upgrade the Kauai Veteran Center to keep it open for veterans and the public to use. If you haven't been there, go stop by the museum, check it out. It's awesome. Ms. Hertog has served as a member of the Kauai Police Commission for almost 3 terms. Since 2018, her love for the history of Kauai brought her to be a volunteer docent at the Grove Farm Homestead Museum. In 2022, she joined the Zonta Club of Kauai as a grant writer to build a better world for women and girls, and received over $22,000 in grants from the county, businesses, and private foundations for scholarships for young women graduating from high schools on Kauai. The Kauai County Council honors and congratulates Mary Kay Major General Mary Kay Hertog on her retirement with the Kauai Veterans Council, and thanks her for her many years of leadership and dedicated service, which has made a positive difference for the entire island of Kauai. Thank you.
Congratulations. and now, that was placed properly. Anything else, Bart?
Yeah, we'd like to honor her with a plaque from the veterans of Kauai. What this woman has done for us is amazing. She does it without thinking. She's always helping out everybody, and you gotta love her. I got a plaque here that we made for her. The plaque actually has a couple of challenge coins. Got one from PMRF. The commander gave me a coin. I've got one, a Veterans Air Force coin, and then I've got all the services here. In recognition of your extraordinary dedication to supporting fellow veterans, your selfless passion and commitment to their well-being has inspired countless individuals. You are being honored with much appreciation and gratitude for your outstanding service. Mahalo nui, Kauai Veterans Ohana.
That's beautiful. Just perfect for carrying around with you. You know, you might need to get a strap on it or something. All right, let's give her another round of applause. She's an amazing Wonder Woman. Major General Mary Kay Hertog, retired. Please welcome Mary Kay. Again, she has some introductions. Go right ahead. Welcome.
It's not fair to make me get up and speak after that. I just want to say thank you to all my fellow and sister veterans, and for this wonderful home that we call Kauai, and the support that you give us every single day, from all the county council members who rewrite some of their ordinances to accommodate our veterans on many different areas, to all the folks that are in the council and in the audience out here that have helped us with the museum and renovating the center. God bless you. Thank you so much. But you know, I don't want to spend time talking about myself. You know, everybody calls me Major General. I do want you to know my husband calls me Major Nuisance. So you got to keep life in perspective sometimes. It's my privilege to introduce the next three guest speakers we have, because to me, all three of them really, with what they do for the community, embody service before self. Our first speaker is Dave Hall, one of our most involved veterans and our invaluable member to our Kaua'i Veterans Council. I honestly don't know what we would do if we didn't have Dave with us. He's the chair of our management committee, which is a fancy name for initiating and overseeing the many projects that keep our Kaua'i Veterans Center open. From getting the experts hired, to patching the holes in the roof, to always the plumbing problems we have, Dave is there. He's also president of our Veterans Museum and was actively involved in the 3-year renovation, top to bottom, of our museum, which is an absolute showplace. Please go to see it if you haven't, because it really highlights the contributions our Kaua'i veterans have made to the world. He's there every day to make sure our displays represent those contributions. But well before this, Dave was one of the over 2 million men drafted to fight in the most unpopular war in our country, in our history, Vietnam. And we've asked Dave to say a few words about his service in Vietnam. He's reluctantly doing this at my request, but I wanted you to hear his story, which is the story of many of our folks that are out in the audience today. Without any further ado, Dave Hall.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Aloha and welcome, everyone. In 1968, like thousands of other men and women, I was drafted into the U.S. Army, knowing I was eventually headed to Vietnam. I went through Army basic training at Fort Ord, California, and then sent to Fort Knox, Tennessee, and was trained on tanks. I also went through school to become an NCO, or Sergeant E5. While there, I also trained new recruits on how to operate the tanks. In April 1969, I was shipped to Vietnam, landing at Tan Son Nhut Air Base, which is near Saigon. From there, I was sent to a place called Hō'ike for a couple of days of snake training, which was to educate us on what Vietnam was really like. From snake training, I was sent up to Highway 13 to a place called An Loc, which was a fire support base called Thunder 4. After I arrived, I was assigned to a flame track known as a Zippo, like the Zippo lighter, because they could shoot flames at the enemy. I became part of a recon outfit of 5 tracks. I was one of 5 tracks. In May 1969, I had been in Vietnam less than a month when I was in my first firefight, which could become just one of many. I made it through that, and our job was to secure the roads and sometimes chase the enemy when needed. We also went south to work an area near Tay Ninh City where the rubber plantations were. I did this mission for more than 10 months and saw things that have stayed with me for my entire life. And all of our combat veterans know what I'm talking about. One day, when we were out in the field, my colonel flew out to my location in his helicopter and said, "Sergeant Hall, there's your ride home." Well, I didn't waste any time, packed up, and took what I could and started the long journey back to the U.S. It took me 3 days to get back to the U.S., and when my brothers picked me up at the airport, I really knew I was finally home. When I got home, I didn't want to see anybody. Instead, I slept 19 hours straight, the first time in a year I'd slept under sheets. I slowly started hanging out with my friends, who helped me a lot, but most could not really relate to what I'd gone through, and I did not want to offer up a whole lot of details. I think I adjusted pretty well, thanks to family and friends. I just really wanted to move on with my life. I went back to work and had a lot of jobs from warehouse management, cabinet making, carpentry, and eventually built homes. I got married, had a son, went to school to become a power plant operator, got divorced, and eventually got my dream job as a project manager for the Hotel del Coronado in California for 24 years. Through my son, I met a family from Kaua'i and moved here 10 years ago. I have never regretted coming here. Not only is Kaua'i beautiful, but it's such a calming and healing place. And love to just walk the beaches. Being in combat in Vietnam really put my life in perspective, and I don't worry or focus on the trivial stuff. When I got to Kaua'i, I started volunteering at our Veterans Center, where I met another vet that introduced me to PTSD group that met once a week. In our group, we have people of all ages who have been in combat in different wars, but we all share similar experiences. We also have other folks that have PTSD for reasons other than combat. Before coming to Kaua'i, I rarely talked about my PTSD unless it was with other veterans. Every veteran has to make their own choice to seek help when they are ready. And we all have different triggers that can take us back to places we don't want to go. At this stage of my life, if there's any advice I can offer, it's to love your family and friends, be kind to each other, and take care of your neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave, very much. Great advice, as they said. Our next speaker is U.S. Navy Captain Retired Lynn Allward Bingham, whose many amazing accomplishments to her credit. Lynn spent 23 years in the Navy as a nurse on active duty and in the reserves. Her second assignment in the Navy was at Naval Hospital Guam when she was a young lieutenant, where she took care of the Vietnam wounded when they were aeromedically evacuated out of country to be treated in Guam. During her career in the Navy, she had many different assignments in different locations. And while still on active duty, because she's such an underachiever, she decided to go to law school. She was accepted into law school and earned her law degree while attending night school at the San Diego School of Law. She moved to Kaua'i 23 years ago and has been active in advocating for and representing Kaua'i veterans as a member or the chair of the Veterans Advisory Council for the VA Pacific Islands Healthcare System for the last 21 years. She's also been a volunteer for Kaua'i's Vacation for Warriors program for 8 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Lynn Allward Bingham.
Down a little bit. Thank you very much, and thank you to all our veterans who served in all the wars. It was in my junior or sophomore year at University of Michigan, a Navy nurse recruiter came to the school, and I think 6 of us ended up signing up. My father had been a World War II veteran, so of course I went Navy. And at the time, she was saying, well, we're going to have more casualties than we anticipated, but, so we're going to need some nurses. So when I graduated, I and several others went to Great Lakes Naval Training Center, which got a lot of casualties, but not that many at that time, even though it was 66, 67. In April of 68, I was sent to Guam, the Naval Hospital there, and they told us we'd probably be getting in some air evacs, but not that many. Well, I was there from April of 68 through November of 69, and we averaged 100 a night. Most people did not realize that because it wasn't put in the papers. We had a rotating thing so that if you worked a certain shift, then you would come back when the air evacs came in. And traditionally, they would be flown into Clark Air Force Base, and then transported via bus or ambulance to us It was challenging to say the very least. And I never once heard, because some of us, if we worked days, we would then come in to meet the ambulances and the buses. If they worked PMs, they came after us, after the patients had arrived. Never heard any nurse or staff person, core person, anyone ever complain. They were dedicated to taking care of the wounded. And through that, we met a lot of people. And there are stories, certainly, that I could probably go on for an hour. I'm not going to bore you with that. But what's interesting, and Dave and I spoke about this, we don't speak about it very often. And two of my colleagues have definitely sought counseling for PTSD. Fortunately, I probably kept too busy and hence put the PTSD off. But it was a very challenging time. When we came back, I remember coming back and flying into San Francisco. And before we got off the plane, they told us to change out of our uniforms and into civilian clothes because of all the hatred for the Vietnam War, I guess. We did that. That was the first clue I had. It was really interesting because I met a lot of people, a lot of colleagues that were nurses at the time, many of whom still are nurses. And we managed to stay in touch over the years. And one of the things that was, I think, a great healing for all the women that were in the military during that time, as well as during Vietnam and afterwards, is the work of Diane Carlson Evans. She was an Army nurse in country in Vietnam, and she met her husband there, who was an Army surgeon. When they got back to the States and she had a couple kids, she ended up spending 10 years working to get built and placed the Women's Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. on the Mall. And it's beautiful. If you haven't seen it, if you ever get to see it, you can find pictures online at, I'm trying to think, I think it's Women's Vietnam Memorial Project.org. That was something that was incredibly healing for a lot of people. And it was dedicated in November 11th, 1993. And a lot of Vietnam veterans came out and there was a parade. And they actually saw nurses that had taken care of them. I wasn't that lucky. I didn't see my patients. One of the things that was hard when you were in country, and let me explain something about that. The Navy did not have in-country hospitals except for two. There was one in Da Nang and one in Saigon. They were both very small, about 4 nurses each and 1 or 2 doctors. The patients that went there were not going to make it, period. So that was hard on those people. I have no doubt how hard that must have been. Those were only 1-year tours. Guam was an 18-month tour, and the Naval Hospital, the patients would be evacuated. The good thing about this was, even back then, they would be evacuated in less than 12 hours of their wounds. So we got the ones who could survive the flight. If they couldn't survive the flight, the plane would land at Clark Air Force Base if they hadn't taken a turn for the worse, and get them off into the Air Force Hospital. Otherwise, we got all the Navy and Marine casualties from Vietnam, and occasionally some Vietnamese casualties. One of my cohorts, who's very active in the Boston area, her brother was killed in Vietnam, and yet she was taking care of a couple of Vietnamese patients. Nobody asked which side they were on, we just took care of them. So the Army had people in country at various places, and they saw a different side of it than my friends and I saw. one of their bases was actually overrun twice. A couple patients were killed. I think a nurse got wounded but survived. So it's a real mix, and not everybody understands how that was different. One of the things the Navy did differently was we trained our corpsmen for about 4 months. And it was intense training. At one point in time, I did teach some of the corpsmen. And they were able to do a lot more than the Army medics were able to do. Our corpsmen, for the most part, were with the Marines. And there was a bounty on their head. So we saw some corpsmen come back that were injured. I think the biggest thing that I could take away from all of that, and I think many of us, was that in my case, there were friends I made that I still see after 50-some years. And we get together and it's like there was no time has passed. We get together in person about once every 5 years because some of us are now starting to fade out and can't travel anymore. But that, Dave said it, valuing life and valuing your friends and your family was just a hallmark of what came out of there. That was the good that came out of it. I know a lot of people suffered, and I can't thank them and their families enough for what they gave. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for sharing that with us. Our last very special speaker is Scoutmaster Bobby Thompson. You may recognize him also as Lieutenant Bobby Thompson from KPD, Scout Leader for Troop 148. Bobby's son, Kamikona, who unfortunately cannot be with us here in person, took on a special project to earn his Eagle Scout rank, one that honored our Vietnam veterans. And I would like to ask Bobby to come up and talk about this wonderful project. Bobby. Today.
Hi, good morning. Aloha, my name is Bobby Thompson. I'm the father of Kamikona Thompson. As a matter of fact, I'm the father of 4 children, Alexa, Kekapuloa, Kamikona, and Ashley, and grandfather to 1, my grandson Grady, and husband of just about 30 years to my wife Roxanne. I'm here in my role as a Scoutmaster with Scouts BSA to represent my son Kamikona. Quick, a little bit about me. I'm a detective / sergeant. I wish I was a lieutenant, not quite there yet. She promoted me, so I'm going to take it. I'm with the Kaua'i Police Department. I've been with the department for almost 12 years. I'm a Scoutmaster for Troop 148G. I'm also the Assistant Scoutmaster for 148B. I have 20 plus years of community volunteer time as a football official, baseball official, coach of many sports. I'm on many nonprofit boards. I'm also the chairperson for SHOPO, the police union on the island of Kaua'i. Most importantly, I'm an involved parent and a volunteer in the scouting program. The program has done a lot for our family. At this point, my son Kamikona has accomplished the highest rank in the program, Eagle Scout. He's been involved in scouting from the 1st grade. He's completed this long journey with a few bumps, but he has persevered and endured many challenges. He's not done this alone. He had the support of his family and many volunteers in the Scouts BSA program. Special thanks to retired Scoutmaster Lyle Tabata, retired Scoutmaster Mike Cano, Scoutmaster Chris LaRusso, Assistant Scoutmaster Jordan Berg, and Assistant Scoutmaster Mark Calderon, and the late Scoutmaster Ronald Ronnie Blackston. Kamikona needed to do a project to complete the Eagle requirements. He worked with the County of Kauai staff, Auntie Jeanette Chun, a United States Air Guard veteran, Michelle Lizama, the County of Kauai DMV, and his fellow scouts and their families to get this done. Kamikona's Eagle project was completed in June of this year. The project entailed refurbishing the Vietnam Veterans Memorial at the Kapaʻa Armory on Kahau Street in Kapaʻa. This location houses the Kaua'i Police Department's Kapaʻa substation, Kaua'i lifeguards, and soon to be a DMV hub for Kapaʻa. The work requested was to outline the island of Kaua'i surrounding the remembrance plaque and pohaku that symbolize the Hawaiian archipelago. Kamikona needed to manage the project as a leader, and along with all the volunteers he was able to recruit, they were able to restore the memorial in the middle of the front lawn, clean the veteran recognition plaques in the area, cut all the grass, pressure wash all the sidewalks, and repainted all the parking spaces and curbs directly in front of the armory. Kamikona needed to obtain donations and funding, obtain willing and able volunteers, write up a plan for the project execution, and plan the entire project to include work and to ensure he was supervising all volunteers and ensure all was done in a safe and efficient manner. Kamikona was able to obtain donations from Spencer's Concrete, Jordan Berg, who supplied yard tools, weed blocking sheeting for the area, and manual labor. He also received donations from the County of Kaua'i, which included gardening barrier for the memorial area, the rocks used within the memorial, and manual labor from their awesome public works crew, comprised of Kimo, Henry, Cody, and Sheldon. Kamikona also got financial and labor work donations from his immediate family, to include his oldest sister, who was here from Kansas, his older brother, Ke Kapuloa, his favorite sister-in-law, Kaylee Langtad, and her brother, Taylor, Hunter Langtad, his youngest sister, Ashley, his grandma, Joan, his mother, Roxanne, myself, and of course, his pride and joy, his nephew, Grady, who calls him Uncle Guy. Kamikona has also been able to obtain huge support from his fellow scouts from Troop 148, the troop leaders and his fellow scout families, who all contributed in many hours, not only manual labor, but support him and our family throughout this scouting journey. Kamikona graduated from Kapaʻa High School in May of this year and continued his scouting journey while working part-time at Hanapa'a Fishing Store in Kapaʻa, where he worked for the second half of his senior year at Kapaʻa High School. On July 1st, at the age of 17, Kamikona began another dream of his and began trade school at Wyotech in Laramie, Wyoming. Kamikona lives in an apartment, surviving on his own from this young age. He's been successful in accomplishing perfect attendance and above-average scores in each section of this program. He is studying auto body repair, chassis fabrication, auto body painting, vinyl wrapping, vehicle AC repair, welding, and learning to lift and drop vehicles. While on his first break from the school, Kamikona came home to Kaua'i in September to complete his final stage of the Eagle Scout journey, which was the Eagle Board of Review. I was told he excelled in this stage, and as of 2 weeks ago, received the official certificate from Scouts BSA National Office to commemorate him as an official Eagle Scout. As of October 12, 2024, Kamikona has turned 18 and continues to succeed in living in Wyoming on his own, fulfilling his dream of successfully completing trade school, with plans to return home to Kaua'i to be a positive role model and a successful adult in our community. Prior to completing his Eagle Scout project, Kamikona went to Molokai to hunt with his uncle Jesse Cummings and his family. He was able to experience one of his most cherished pastimes, which is hunting. Fishing was his first love, but hunting became his passion. While hunting on Molokai, Kamikona got to know an uncle there that they talked for long hours while hunting and cleaning the game they caught. This uncle told Kamikona he was excited to meet a young man like him because he is so humble, and he was stunned to hear Kamikona say that he hunts to provide food for his family and community, and what he catches is shared amongst his family and neighbors. This uncle told Kamikona he's welcome to Molokai anytime to hunt, as he hunts for the right reasons and there's no waste. What is more touching is within these conversations, this uncle told Kamikona he was a Vietnam veteran and shared some stories about his experience with Kamikona. When Kamikona began the work on this project, he became ecstatic to see that this memorial he was working to restore was a tribute to 3 Kaua'i veterans of the Vietnam War: a Sergeant Gaylord K. DeFries, Specialist 4 Rudy Aquino, and Specialist 4 David S. La'amea. Kamikona became loud and excited, which rarely happens. He's a child of very little emotion. And he said, "Dad, the uncle I hunted with is a Vietnam veteran. This is so cool, Dad. I'm so excited to do this for the veterans." At that time, my heart became full. I was even more proud of the young man I raised, as he is such a caring and passionate young man who appreciates the greater things in life, like service to his community and country, as many veterans have given so selflessly. I would like to note that Kamekona is named after his uncle Samson, who's a veteran who served 2 tours in Iraq in the Army National Guard. The name Samson is interpreted into Kamekona in Hawaiian. I would like to thank all the veterans for all the sacrifices you have made for our country, our state, and our county. I thank your families for the sacrifice they also made while you were away. I love my son and my entire family with everything in me. And although I, myself, am not a veteran, I know how it is to be a family member to one, and it's not always easy. If you'd like to see the work that Kamekona and his volunteers did to the memorial at the Armory, I have a poster here. My lovely friend Mary Kay Hertog has been holding up. It's of the work that was completed. Feel free to view it here on the poster, or go to the Kapaʻa Armory live and in person and experience the amazing feeling we felt while assisting Kamekona with this heart-filling and most deserving project. Thank you all again. I was going to try and give Kamekona a call and get him on FaceTime. Unfortunately, I talked to him this morning. He's very sick. But here's a testament to what kind of a young man he is. He's been sick for the last week, and he told me there's no way possible that he's not going to miss class because he needs to get all the scores he can get, and he wants to be sure that when his name is called at graduation, he's called for perfect attendance. Thank you guys. I really appreciate everything you guys have done, and thank you for being there for us. God bless America.
Thank you again. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. Give him a round of applause and his family. And of course, Kamekona. We have a guest here, World War II veteran, 99 years of age, Norman Hashisaka. Can someone point him out? Norman? Anyone see Norman? Somebody wave a body part or something? There he is. Got it. Hi, Norman. That's his arm up in the air. Thank you, Norman. Let's give him a round of applause, please. 99. I want to thank everyone very much. My name is Ron Wiley. I can't help it. Thank you for attending our celebration and our ceremony. You know, it takes a lot of people and organizations to put on such an event. I want to thank the Rice Street Business Association, especially Lexi Jones. Yes, Lexi. Woohoo. Yeah, that's her middle name. Lexi Woohoo Jones. Woohoo. Captain Andes, thank you. United Health Services, Suds Car Wash, give them a round of applause. Matson, Louis and Eddie Soltran, Construction Company, Sign Art, thanks to all the businesses, all the folks who are here. I want to make sure veterans in attendance go to where the red tent is, right? Is that where they get their ticket? You see that? The red top tent? If you did not get your lunch ticket, veteran, go get it. One ticket per veteran, please. Well, go ahead. Get a couple if you want. Our annual Veterans Day ceremony will happen at Veterans Cemetery in Hanapepe, 11/11/11. That's Monday, November 11th, 11 a.m. Give that a round of applause right now. People are putting it together, so don't miss it. Monday, November 11th, 11 a.m. Again, thank you, Norman. Was that old song about you, Norman? How I love you, how I love you. No. You don't remember that song. Norman, thank you so much. Thanks for attending the celebration. Thanks to everybody here. Again, all of the sponsors. And again, a final reminder, please honor with your presence the veterans, Monday, November 11th, 11 a.m. at our annual Veterans Day ceremony, Veterans Cemetery in Hanapepe. Thank you. On stage, you may now disperse. individually, please disperse individually, not all together at once, no, whatever. Disperse. You can get it. And don't forget, the Veterans Counselor will be here November 12th. Veterans Counselor will be here November 12th at the Veterans Center. Thanks to all involved. And we're bringing up our next group of entertainers. Yep. Thank you. Kapaʻa Middle School Choir.
Hō'ike Aloha, everyone, and as Bobby Thompson shared earlier, we are so honored to be a part of this event, and Kamikona, I'm so proud of him because he was one of our students as well. Kamikona worked really, really hard on his Eagle Scout project, and we congratulate him. I am also a Boy Scout troop leader as well with Troop 168, honored and sponsored as our charter organization, the Kaua'i Veterans Club. So mahalo to our Kaua'i Veterans Club for allowing us the privilege. My son, Christian Lardizabal, stand up, Christian. He also was an Eagle Scout in 2021. 2020. He was responsible for the mural on the outside of the Kaua'i Veterans Center. So every day we go and we look at that beautiful mural. We think of my father, Dr. R.G. Niemer, who just turned 90 years old, part of the Marines and the Navy, and his grandfather, Maurice Lardizabal, who passed away, but he was a veteran of the Army National Guard here in Hawaii. Many of you may know him as well. We are honored so much to be a part of this event from day one, from the first time that they started when we were marching in the parade. And Mary Kay Hertog is one of my dearest friends, and I thank her so much for her love and all of her support that she gave to us over all these years. And we are thankful to all of our veterans who serve in the military. So one more, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Thank you so much. I'm happy to introduce our Kapaʻa Middle School Choir and Ukulele Band. We are gearing up for the 'Tis the Season to be busy with so many other events that are happening throughout the season, and come and check us out. We're going to be representing in March the World Strides Music Festival. So up next we have Henny Henny Kowaka. If you know the dances, if you want to come and sing along, sing along. So these kids are doing great today. They had a performance last night. Today they're smiling even more. So let's keep the music happening. And a big thank you to our sound man, my former students, Keone and Ridge. Yay! We got to get them playing up here with us too. would like to honor all of our veterans. We are going to be singing God Bless America. All of our veterans, we appreciate those who have served of the past, of the present, and in the future. And recently, my dad celebrated his 90th birthday in South Dakota. And after we celebrated his birthday, 2 days after, he was invited to go to the Midwest honor flight in Washington, D.C. I have never seen my dad so emotional and so humbled by something. But we honor all of you, and we thank you so much for your service. So if you are able to stand, please sing God Bless America with us. And Auntie, who's in the front row, who's 100 years old, I hope I look as beautiful as you when I turn your age. God bless you, and I just am so excited to have all of you here today to help celebrate our veterans.
To Yeah, that's okay, brother. Thank you for your service.
Gather all her island food, pack them as she starts another day. Carefully she makes her way beside the mountain stream, and she sings an island chant on the go. Sweet lady Kaua'i, sitting by the highway, by the highway, selling her papaya, and the green and the ripe banana. Walking down a damp and rocky road, the ramble wagon stop. She watched the sun creep through the valley sky, smiles and wipes the sweat from her brow. Continue moves on and starts a journey through the highway rising sun. Sweet lady Kaua'i, sitting by the highway, by the highway, selling her papaya, and the green and the ripe banana. Later in the evening, she would gather all her island fruits and pack them as she ends another day. Carefully she makes her way beside the mountain stream, and she sings an island chant along the go. Sweet lady Kaua'i, sitting by the highway, by the highway, selling her papaya, and the green and ripe banana. Sweet lady Kaua'i, sitting by the highway, by the highway, selling her papaya, green bananas, and the green and the ripe banana. Selling her papaya, and the green and the ripe banana. Selling her papaya, and the green and the ripe banana.
Yeah. Selling her papayas, folks. Thank you to Auntie Sally out there in Kaua'i that does that. Hey, Mary Kay.
Yeah, Papa, Takure mahi e tuku mahi, takure mahi, takure mahi, e tu kore mata, iyo e, yo e, tamate aho, e ide hoki mai ra, makue, makue tote ko hiko e tama, makue kote ko hiko e tama, iyo e, tama te aho, he hine hoki mai ra, he hine hoki mai ra, he hine hoki mai ra. How come all the pretty girls like you are taking, baby? I've been looking for someone like you to see me. Not too easy to be so darn complicated. Take your time and I'll be waiting. Keep me in mind. Somewhere down the road you might get lonely. Keep me in mind. Say someday you will love me only. Think about you someday, way I will live, wasting the afternoon. It's always go our separate ways. No one can love me the way I do. Keep me in mind. Somewhere down the road you might get lonely. Keep me in mind. Pray someday that you will love me only. When the words meet me, my children, there's no one to love me in mind. Yeah, that you want me. I'll be your man. I'd be a fool to let you go with someone else. Whatever you want from me, I'll be your man. I'd give it all up just to have you for myself. Keep me in mind. Somewhere down the road you might get lonely. Keep me in mind. Pray someday that you will love me only. When the earth meets me, my tail very deep. There's no one to love me in mind.
mahalo, folks. Thank you guys so much. You be happy when I find someone who makes me happy. Why can't you just turn around and walk away? Find ourselves in situations and no one waits, but we keep wishing each of us would somehow change. Am I keeping up the life I've come to know? I don't think so. I don't think so. Am I keeping up the life I've come to know? So, I don't think so. Try to switch the conversation or even hit some obligation. You're better off with someone else instead. You can find a life out, just put your back behind you now, so you can learn to start again. I'm giving up the life I've come to know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Even hint some obligation. You're better off with someone else instead. You can find that I have just put your back behind you now, so you can learn to start again. And I'm giving up the life I've come to know. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm giving up the life I've come to know. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm giving up. And I'm giving up. And I'm giving up. I don't think so. And I'm giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I don't think so. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not some original music for you folks. Mahalo!
Yeah?
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruiting plain. America, America, God said
There we go.
No, that's it.
There
That's
we
it.
go, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. I put them right on the spot. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do it. One more round of applause for Cruz Control, ladies and gentlemen, sharing our music, making us all dance, both in the shade and in the sun. We love that. All right, we're gonna get set with our next group of musicians this afternoon. So stay tuned, we got a special treat for you.
The tears from my eyes are unstoppable. To hide them from you, I'm not capable. I listen your laughs and our talks on the phone. It's 3 in the morning and I'm all alone. Don't count me out of your life, 'cause I need you in mine. Take me out of the dark. Can you show me the light? Girl, let me tell you, that's all I need from you. Yesterday's rain is in my eye. Couldn't hold back those tears I cried. What happens now to our memories? I guess they're all gone since you're tired of me. Don't count me out of your life, 'cause I need you in mine. Take me out of the dark. Can you show me the light? Girl, let me tell you, that's all I need from you. Yesterday's rain is in my eyes. Couldn't hold back those tears I cried. What happens now to our memories? Well, I guess they're all gone since you're tired of me. Don't count me out of your life, 'cause I need you in mine. Take me out of the dark. Can you show me the light? Girl, let me tell you, that's all I need.